From amazing scenery to incredible architecture. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out the most amazing places in Singapore and the movie Crazy Rich Asians. Number 10. Sentosa Island. Let's start out by not going to Singapore. How about that? Trust me, it makes sense. In Crazy Rich Asians, both main characters, Nick and Rachel, find themselves alone as they broke up, temporarily, and ironically, they both ended up on an island just outside of Singapore, Sentosa Island. It's easiest to think of this island as a massive resort for people who want to get away from the city. There are tons of hotels, beaches, theme parks, and more, as well as nice little areas to get away from it all. It's a popular spot for families as well, and if you're near Singapore, you should definitely check it out. Number 9. Changi Airport. Singapore is beloved for a reason, and one of those reasons is that they know how to turn a simple thing into a glamorous or luxurious thing. And if you don't believe me, you need to look no further than its airport. Changi Airport was a big thing in the film Crazy Rich Asians, mainly because it was the first glimpse in the world of Singapore. And the main character noted that the place looks more like a resort than an airport. Ironically, she was right, for that wasn't a set, it was the real deal. Changi is a massive and luxurious airport that defies all conventions. If you go to airports around the world, you'll see that some things are basic, like stores, restaurants, and the like. But Changi has numerous flower shops, a movie theater, stores that will offer you just about anything you would want, and so much more. Plus, if you want some more natural entertainment, the place even has a butterfly garden and ponds full of koi fish. This isn't just an airport, it's an experience. Number 8. Newton Food Center. Before we talk about this amazing food court, take a moment to like this video and join the Zero to Hero community by using the buttons below. Don't forget to click on that little notification bell too, so you can always stay up to date with our newest videos. Now, we've all likely been to food courts, or places where they have tons of food options and you just need to pick the dish you want to eat and then enjoy it. But in Singapore, they take this to a whole new level, and the Newton Food Center is the place to experience the hawkers. What are they? Well, they're street vendors, but with a twist. For, as revealed in the movie, these street vendors only offer up one dish. That may sound odd, but it's more about tradition than anything else. For these dishes have been cooked and refined by the vendors' families for generations, and thus, it's the culmination of everything they've been working on. There are actually a ton of hawker centers in Singapore, and Newton is the one that is the most popular, which is why it was featured in the movie. Those that live in Singapore actually say it's not the best of the bunch, but it's still worth a visit. Here's a fun fact for you. The hawker stands are the only of its kind in the world to get Michelin stars. Number 7. Merlion. As anyone who has ever been to a big city knows, the real way to connect with a city isn't just by going to the best buildings and malls and theaters and such, it's to find the little things that are associated with the place. For Singapore, that would definitely be the Merlion. Why is that? Well, it's a really cool looking statue, and obviously it's a fusion between a mermaid and a lion. It's very well crafted, and the fact that it shoots out water into the nearby waters is actually a really cool effect. The film made sure to show off this Merlion in both the trailer and in the film itself, and it's not surprising. The Merlion is a really big tourist attraction, said to get over 1 million people visiting it every single year. And with the release of the movie, it's fair to say that this number has likely gone up. Another reason that this Merlion is so famous is that it's right across the bay from a certain famous hotel that you'll be seeing in this list a little later on. Number 6. Raffles Hotel. Now, while it's true that Singapore does what it can to truly stand out from the crowd with bigger, better, and newer creations, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a sense of history. And to prove this, Crazy Rich Asians has the main character stay in the Raffles Hotel, which was built all the way back in 1887. That's a lot of history within a single hotel. And while it may not look exactly as it did back then, that just shows how much the people of Singapore care about this place. The Raffles Hotel is more than just a simple hotel though. It has a bar that has all sorts of exotic drinks for you to try, including the Singapore Sling. And the Raffles Hotel is even considered the origin of the Sling. Not only that though, but they have a restaurant that is massive in terms of how many people can sit in it. This restaurant has over 1,000 tables. In comparison, the entire hotel only has 115 rooms. So they want people to come to their hotel even if they don't spend the night. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is style. Oh, by the way, if you want to stay at the hotel, you'd better be ready to pay for it. It's about $7,000 US per night if you want to get a suite, and the rest of the hotel is currently under renovation. Number 5. Bukit Paso Road. Every major city in the world has their own version of Chinatown. It's a term synonymous with the world today, and Singapore has their own version of it as well. However, in Crazy Rich Asians, they focus on the particular street of Bukit Paso Road. This place is very much a get away from it all spot, as you'll be able to get away from all of the major buildings and gobs of traffic in order to find more simplified foot traffic and street vendors that are actually on the street. Novel concept, I know. You'll also find more antique architecture, and the stores are very different from the mega malls that the main part of Singapore has. So if you're suffering from fatigue in regards to all of the new age construction, then Bukit Paso Road may just be where you want to go. Or don't. After all, if you're going to Singapore, you should do whatever you want. Number 4. Gardens by the Bay. The Gardens by the Bay is a courtyard outside of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which you'll see in a bit, and it's the scene of the wedding reception in Crazy Rich Asians. The best part about this area is that it's entirely free to visit, with only a handful of exceptions. There's all kinds of plant life, there are super trees that even light up to a musical number, and since it happens at night, it's even more beautiful. Should you want more from the gardens, there are special areas like domes and elevated bridges that you can enjoy, but you do need to pay a little extra money to see them. Number 3. Singapore Flyer. Every city needs its own little amusement rides. Some places have massive theme parks, others have little adventures in malls or theaters. And in Singapore, they have the Singapore Flyer. What is this thing? Well, it's a massive Ferris wheel, and in terms of size, it's the second largest Ferris wheel in the world today. It reaches an amazing 541 feet into the air, and it took about 2.5 years to build. But it's more than just a Ferris wheel, for much like everything big in Singapore, they had to add the luxury element to things. What I mean by that is that the 28 carts that you can take a ride in aren't just basic metal carts. No, they're air-conditioned. So no matter how hot it is in Singapore, you'll be able to ride in cool weather. Classy. Of course, the reason you go to a place like this is because you want to see the sights, and from 500 plus feet up, you'll get the chance to see Singapore in a big way. Not bad for second place. Oh, and what place has the biggest Ferris wheel and beats Singapore? Well, it's Las Vegas and their high roller Ferris wheel, because of course, Vegas does not like to be outdone. Number 2. Chimes. For those that don't know the plot of Crazy Rich Asians, the main character finds out that her boyfriend is insanely rich, and he invites her to a family wedding in Singapore. That wedding takes place in Chimes, one of the most historic spots in all of Singapore. Ironically, that name isn't random. It's actually an acronym for the Covenant of the Holy Infant Jesus Middle Education School. Yeah, Chimes sounds better. This place was made in the 18th century and has been upgraded and renovated over time, making it all the more eye-catching to people. Of course, the big question is, do they actually do weddings there? Yes, they do. But they also have restaurants, a courtyard, and more. Number 1. Hotel Marina Bay Sands. Crazy Rich Asians had many amazing places of Singapore shown, but the Hotel Marina Bay Sands may just be the most popular of the bunch, and it's all because of a certain pool that they have. What do I mean by that? Well, they have an infinity pool there, but it's one that isn't typical. Why is that? Well, their infinity pool isn't just in the hotel or outside in a cool spot, it's actually 57 floors up. Think about that for a bit. You're 570 plus feet in the air just to be in this pool. Yeah, that's special. This view allows you to see Singapore in a totally unique way. And because of its height and size, it is considered the highest and largest infinity pool in the world, which is probably one of the reasons why it was shown in the film. Then, once you're done swimming, there are numerous things that you can still do inside and outside the Marina Bay Sands, including being able to rest under the shade of a palm tree. Not to mention the hotel itself is very unique in terms of construction. It's really something to behold. But it can be costly, which again is likely why they showed it in Crazy Rich Asians, as they could afford it. As the price per room can go from around $539 per night up to $6,499 for one night. What did you think is the most amazing part of Singapore? Let us know in the comments below and take care.